Happy Monday. Going live everywhere. Super excited about today's topic. Give me 1 second to go live. Say hi. Let me know where you're watching from. Everything's a little delayed this morning. Okay. Looks like I'm live everywhere now. Good morning. Good morning from Houston. Nice to see you guys. Okay. I want to start by saying, before I forget, because I always forget announcements, a couple of important announcements. First of all, this is Weather Week. And so we're going to be talking about weather all week and how to look your best regardless of the weather. And so this is one of the few times when I talk about fashion and function. And so good morning, everyone. So this is Weather Week. Tomorrow, I've got a video on how to look good in bad weather. On Friday, I have a video on how to layer, and I've got lots of. I'm going to try to get a coat video out this morning or this week. But I did want to say that if you go to nettamanley.com/shopping, you're going to see unfortunately, the way it works is my most recent catalogs are at the bottom of that list, but nettamanley.com shopping will get you to all of my latest catalogs. And at the bottom of that page, you will see a full fall coat guide. You'll see my fall boot guide, and you'll see my layering catalog. So coats, boots, layering, we're covering all of that this week. You'll find it all at nettamanley.com/shopping. Just one easy way, one easy place to find everything. Good to see you guys. Hi everybody. Hi Bev, Carol, Pam. Good to see you guys. So excited again to be talking about fashion meeting function. Hello, Elaine. So some of you may think, she's in Florida. What does she know about cold weather? I have lived in cold places. I lived in Chicago. I lived in Boston for years. And in both of those places, I did a lot of walking. And I'm also, can you get a video on how to make other people layer? That is hilarious. I also am the biggest wimp when it comes to cold. So I have learned all of the hacks and all of the styling and tactics to stay warm in really, really cold weather. So we're going to be talking about cold weather, wet weather, all the weather this week. Okay, so let me get started. I think the first thing is this is a kind of do as I say, not as I do sort of situation, because one of the things that occurred to me recently is that, good morning, happy Monday, is that I do not like to acknowledge the weather that is outside. I like to be like, oh, I know it says 90% chance of monsoon like rain here in Florida, but I'm going to pretend it's not raining and I'm going to dress as if it's going to be a bright sunny day. So I think 98% of the battle is going from being a victim of the weather to being prepared for whatever the weather brings. And so that means checking the forecast, and if it's going to rain, dress so that you feel and look as stylish as you can look in really rainy weather, which is something that we have had a lot of lately and may still have today. If it's going to be really cold, how can you be prepared so that you look stylish even when it's really cold? So it's not about realizing the weather is going to be bad and then having to scramble to adjust your outfit for that bad weather. It's planning for that bad weather so that you look and feel good regardless of the weather. So what is your most stylish version of a rainy day outfit for those of us here in Florida? What is your most stylish version of a freezing cold outfit? Because I believe that we deserve to have both. And especially, rainy days affect my mood. I'm sure sleety, slushy, really cold days affect your mood. How can you set yourself up so that you look stylish and are ready for the weather? That's the goal, and that's kind of the goal of everything I'm talking about this week. So we're going to start with fabric and function, right? Because we're not going to get that stylish functionality if we're not really looking at the materials that we're wearing. And so we even if it's whether it's wet or it's just cold, you want a waterproof layer because that's going to be essential to just kind of weatherproofing your entire look, right? So whether it's bonded cotton or waxed canvas, lots of tech blends, and then of course like nylon puffers, rain jackets, slickers, all of that stuff. Like it's just important to have the right fabrics to kind of pull together your whole look. Good morning. Good morning. I think it's really also important to recognize that some of the natural fibers that we lean into in spring summer are going to be our best bets for fall winter. I really like cotton in winter because it's breathable and you can layer and layer and layer. But also consider merino wool, consider cashmere, and then consider some of the new really fabulous and comfortable and even breathable performance fabrics that are out there. So there are a lot of brands that make really great, and I'm going to talk about brands in a minute, really great performance fabrics that are water resistant, that are breathable, that are heat, insulating or, thermoregulating, and then of course there are natural materials that do that. Wool is one of the best thermoregulators out there. It will not make you sweat. You will not get stinky in wool, but it will keep you warm. So like it's just, I think it's really important to kind of be paying attention to fabric. Okay, so I'm going to share my full layering formula in Friday's video, but I think it's really important to kind of think about your outfit in terms of 3 tiers. So it's a base layer that is going to insulate and it's going to be close to your body. It's that middle layer, which is what everybody sees, the sweater or the top or the blouse or whatever. And then it's that top layer, the coat, the outerwear, whatever, that's going to contribute that final touch to your outfit. Thank you. I love seeing your comments. You want to look for pieces that work both, like if your weather transitions a lot during the course of the day, which is definitely going to happen in fall. We may have our first week of fall weather. It's starting out 80 and it's ending up in the 40s, I think, this week. So, but when you've got weather where it transitions so much throughout the day, you want to be able to remove layers and modular layers like lightweight jackets, scarves, vests. Those are pieces that are going to be able to adjust with you throughout the day. So if it starts out, cold and ends up warm or vice versa, you're going to be able to just kind of adjust your day and you're not going to end up with half the day being miserable, right? So you want pieces that work both ways. There's a brand, I will mention it briefly, and then I'll talk about it a little bit more later, called Marfa Stance. It is like the trendiest brand of outerwear right now. They make very trendy, very expensive, practical utilitarian kind of coats. And one of their claims to fame is that their coats are modular and customizable. So it can start out as a long coat and then it ends up as a shorter coat. It's got removable linings. It's got a removable hood, like it's reversible. It's all the things. So you really are looking for outerwear that's both stylish and functional, and then just clothes in general that are both stylish and functional. The last thing I want to talk about in terms of this functional aspect is always make sure that you like the way that your outfit looks without the coat. This is something I don't talk about enough, but if you're going to spend most of your day outside, your coat is your outfit. Your coat, your scarf, your boots, that's your outfit. That's what people are going to see. If you're going to be inside most of the day, the coat does not complete your outfit in that case. So you want to make sure that your outfit looks great without the coat, without the outerwear. If it doesn't, then you need to add another third layer inside the coat so that when you remove the coat, your outfit feels complete. So, Austin, Texas. Okay. Another warm place. So again, really think about how are you spending your day? When I lived in Boston and when I lived in Chicago, especially in Boston, I spent much of my day outside. Like walking around in cold weather. So my coat was really important. If I didn't like the way my coat looked, I didn't like the way my outfit looked, because most people were just going to see the coat. And even if I went into a shopping area, I did not remove the coat. However, when I lived in Chicago, I would often be inside much of the day and the coat would come off. And so you want to make sure that you like your outfit without that outer layer. Okay. A lot of times we see winter outfits styled for the street, right? But we're not just in the street. Okay, so let me talk about like some sleek weatherproof clothing. I have a full list of like weatherproof shoes and boots and coats and everything in my video, but I will say that I really in wet weather, which we experience a lot here, I really lean into like really cute rain boots and then like waterproof boots like the Vivaya boots. And then in cold weather, we're looking at insulated boots. We're looking at again waterproof leather. We're looking at Chelsea boots that are super cozy. Weatherproof suede with spray protectant can be an option if it's not super wet where you're at. And then of course check traction on your shoes, like make sure that you've got you're not just wearing like a sleek leather sole on a slippery icy day. Like the worst thing in the world and the least stylish thing in the world would be for us to fall and ruin our day, possibly injure ourselves just for the sake of a cute pair of boots. And I have been there. I wore like a really slick pair of leather soled boots in Chicago on a recent trip and almost killed myself. So that's a really important aspect. Okay. The next thing I want to talk about is proportion and polish. It's really important when you're piling on the layers that you've got, my cardinal rule of looking stylish is that we want to have either shape or skin. Since we're not going to show skin in cold weather, shape becomes really important. So shape or skin, that's the way that we look flattered and not overwhelmed and not like bogged down by our outfits in fall winter. So shape becomes more important since we're not showing skin. So I really love belted coats or belted jackets. But if you're wearing a ton of really bulky layers and you belt on top of it, you're going to feel like you are like the Michelin man or whatever. Like you've got just like bulky, and then you're trying to draw like this waistline around the middle. So in that case, maybe the shape is going to come from a coat that's a little bit more structured. Maybe the shape is going to come underneath the coat. But really think about how you can balance bulk with tailoring. Bulk, a bulky part of your outfit with a slimmer part of your outfit. It's all about the opposites. You're wearing a chunky sweater, wear it with more tailored pants. If you're wearing something tailored on top, you can wear that with like a chunkier or more wide leg pant. So really think about finding an element that of shape in your winter outfits so that you do not feel like I'm cozy, but this is just so unflattering and I just don't feel cute in this. My goal is for you to be warm and cozy, but also cute and stylish. Okay, so I think really combining some performance pieces, like even like athleisure pieces with some more elevated pieces like a structured wool coat can really, so no matter what you're doing, no matter how casual your day is, you can throw on like a stylish coat and elevate whatever your casual outfits are. Yes, in Florida, we need matching umbrellas for sure. Okay, so umbrellas that match your aesthetic. I think it's really important to kind of look at having a cluster or a capsule for freezing cold weather, and then having a cluster or a capsule for very wet weather. What are the shoes? What are the layers? What is the headwear? What are the accessories that work for really bad weather? And I also really like to have backup pieces of some of those items in the car. Like I always will have an umbrella in my car. I will always have a pair of sunglasses, a hat, like things like that in the car in that kind of weather, so that if you find yourself accidentally leaving something behind, your whole day isn't ruined because you've forgotten your umbrella or you've forgotten an essential scarf. Okay. I also want to talk about kind of preparing the beauty for those days. One of the reasons I started this video by saying, do as I say, not as I do, is because I'm really bad at preparing my hair for whatever the weather brings. So I'm like, yeah, it probably won't rain. And then it's torrential. And then my hair looks like this just huge frizzy mess. And I'm cranky about it the rest of the day. And then I spend the rest of the day apologizing to people for how my hair looks or feeling cranky because of how my hair looks. It's a toxic trait that I have. So I think it's important. And one of my goals for myself this season is to be prepared for that weather. If I know it's going to rain, I'm not going to wear my hair down and pretend it's not going to look crazy. I'm going to put my hair up and I'm going to prepare for that weather. So Really rainy weather, really snowy weather, it's the same thing. You most likely are going to need your hair up or protected. So a bun, a ponytail, and then something to cover your hair and your head is going to end up, if you plan that hairstyle at the beginning of the day rather than do it by default at the end of the day when your hair is already ruined, you're going to be much better off. Good morning. Good morning. Okay. Um, think about things like a waterproof setting spray, um, waterproof mascara, like things like that. Like it's important to say, okay, I know it's going to be wet. I know I'm going to be outside, and not let it surprise you. Okay, let's talk about a couple of bad weather outfit formulas, and then I'm going to move on to some of my best cold weather or bad weather brands. There's some really good ones. Okay, if it's going to be really rainy, it's going to be really wet. This is an outfit formula I've been leaning into a lot the last couple of weeks because we have had torrential rain here in Florida. So I really like a trench in wet weather, or a really cute rain jacket in wet weather. One of my favorite brands is a brand called Rain Sisters. They make the cutest rain jackets on the planet. Then I also like to have a pair of waterproof shoes. Often that's going to be a cute pair of colorful short rain boots, my Vivaya boots that are waterproof. I also really there's a brand called Melissa that makes like rubber like flats and heels, and they're really cute. So I have a pair that I call my Barbie shoes. It's a pair of like pink waterproof pumps, and they're just super cute. So waterproof shoes, a trench, and then like whatever you're wearing underneath it is going to be much more weather resistant. And then of course you're looking at a fabulous umbrella and having your hair up in that kind of weather, and then waterproofing or weatherproofing your makeup. Okay, if it's a windy day, I make sure I've got multiple layers, and I've got a belted coat because I don't want it to fly open. And then I make sure to tie or tuck anything that's going to move around too much. I do a Chelsea boot, and make sure that I'm wearing like a really cozy socks, really cozy boots on a really windy day. Now, on a cold day, you want a full length coat. You want it to be as long as possible. You want to cover your hips and your bum and your legs as much as possible on a really freezing cold day. You want multiple layers. We're looking at that base layer for the top and the bottom with a second layer on top. That's what's going to be what everyone's going to see. So it's your pants, your jeans, and your sweater. And then you're looking at a coat that's going to cover the length of your body. You're looking at really cozy socks and really cozy footwear. I like to add a bridge layer in between that second layer and the coat. Maybe it's a vest, maybe it's another jacket, maybe it's like a cozy like a wrap or something that's going to go between your sweater and your coat to add additional warmth and style. This is also going to be a great piece that is going to complete your outfit when you take off the coat. So you really want that cozy head to toe look on really cold days. Again, I am the biggest wimp when it comes to cold. So I was the layering queen when I lived in Chicago and in Boston. Can't you just run to the car in the rain? You don't want to spend $500 on an outfit you'll wear twice a year. Or is that bordering on a toxic trait? That is definitely a toxic trait. Just kidding, Pam. So obviously if you're not going to be walking around, or I will just tell you, like I just ran from my car to church last night, and I parked in the closest possible parking spot because I was volunteering last night, and I had my umbrella and I was able to stay dry. But last week when I didn't bring my umbrella, I was soaked by the time I got outside. So yes, if you're not, or by the time I got inside, sorry, if you're not going to be walking around in the weather, your choices are going to be different than if you're walking around in that weather, right? You may not need a rain jacket if you're just running from the car to, an inside place, but you will need an umbrella. So take that into account. The more time you spend outside, the more weather resistant, obviously, that your outfit needs to be. But great point. Okay, transitional weather. For those of us like me who are in transitional weather, it is again about layers that are lightweight. It's having more layers and making them lightweight so that you can, so maybe it's a denim jacket over a cotton sweater, and then, a great pair of boots or whatever. Or maybe it's a midi dress I like to do like a double layer. I'll do like a midi dress with a cotton cardigan. I love the organic cropped cotton cardigan from Quince. And then I'll do like a jacket or a layer over that. So shed the layers as the day goes on, right? Okay. I think, again, you really want a rain kit, a cold kit, a heat kit. You want those clusters that are really going to work for whatever weather you're at. Wear thin fitted layers, not thick ones, if we don't want that Michelin man look. Tuck your base layer into your socks. I used to do this all the time. Like if I'm wearing, like, I would do like the silk, like basically long underwear, but silk pants that I would wear underneath my regular pants. I would tuck those into the cozy socks and into the boots. I really like silk or merino glove liners. If your gloves are not like super, super cozy enough. Add a thin down or insulated vest under a coat for a little extra warmth. Don't ignore your ankles. Like that's one of the key places where cold can enter, and obviously where you can get freezing. Mix textures strategically so that you look and feel stylish. And then, use color in your fall winter outfits. There is no reason to just be leaning into neutrals in fall winter. Wear color because it's going to brighten your day, brighten your mood, brighten other people's day. And then if you are lucky enough to have one of those little towel warmer things, that is one of my friends who lives in Chicago has that. She keeps it by the front door and she uses it to warm up her scarf and her gloves and everything before she puts it on. I was like, ooh, that's like extra coziness. Okay, now I want to talk about my favorite, and to wrap up by talking about my favorite cool weather, bad weather brands, because I think this is really important. We want to be able to find the stylish layers and the stylish coats, and we want to be able to find them at a price that we can afford. So I'm going to start by saying Quince has more and more every time I open the site, and I open it up frequently. They have a lot of really high quality, affordable outerwear and accessories. Definitely check my coat guide, check my boot guide, and check my layering guide. Just go to netamanley.com/shopping to find all of my favorite. And if you scroll down to the bottom of those lists of catalogs, you'll find boot guide, layering guide, coat guide at the bottom there. Quince has fabulous options for scarves, for coats, for all of the things. Towel warmer I thought was a great idea. Now let's talk about some other brands. We're going to start with affordable, functional brands. I'm going to say Uniqlo is amazing for coats, for jackets, for outerwear. But one of the things I really, really like are their heat tech layers. Uniqlo has heat tech layering, like base layering pieces that are insulated, that keep you really, really cozy and really warm. And Uniqlo is a really affordable brand. They have an ultralight down vest that works really, really well to layer underneath your coat for a little added warmth and protection. Next, Old Navy. Old Navy is a great place for budget-friendly, like sweaters, puffer coats, jeans, just a really, really great source for that. I will tell you, one of my very favorite puffer coats that I've ever bought is from H&M. It is super, super stylish. It's glossy and black and belted and just looks really, really cool. Old Navy has really great micro fleece zip ups. Of course, they have wide leg sweatpants. They have the Sherpa shackets and jackets at Old Navy that are really, really good prices. Yeah, those are great for layering for sure. Thank you, Zamara. Okay, 32 Degrees. This is a brand you can actually find at Costco. It's a very, very affordable brand. They're also available at Walmart. They have packable puffers, they have thermal leggings, and then they do have those insulated base layers. People wear them for camping and for all sorts of outdoor activities. But tees and tanks and leggings that are insulated and that are really, really cozy. Again, you can find them at Costco. Costco, at 32degrees.com. You can find them at Amazon. You can find them at Walmart. And there's a brand that when I was researching this video, that I discovered called Free Country. They have really practical kind of outdoor jackets and fleece layers, a little bit more feminine, not so outdoorsy, not as much as like 32 degrees. They have a really nice luxe pile fleece little, kind of jacket. It's under $50, but looks much higher end. Okay, let's talk about mid-range. Oh, and of course, I can't neglect to mention H&M. A lot of my outerwear and layering pieces come from H&M. I have a really nice, like, thin jersey turtleneck that I can layer underneath everything that I got from H&M that I absolutely love. And then, like I said, my puffer jacket, lots and lots of great options at H&M. Great basics there. Okay, let's talk about mid-range stylish brands. I'm going to go for Boden. Boden always has fabulous coats. One of the things I really like about Boden is they have a wide range of sizes and lengths. So they have petite coats. They have tall. They have they have everything. Those kind of mall brands, Banana Republic, J. Crew, Boden, Gap, all have, a nice wide range of sizes and lengths. But they've got great bold colors. They've got beautiful textures, great fabrics, flattering fits. Great source for wool coats, for cashmere sweaters, and for more polished layering pieces. Their winter coats really look like they really can compete with some of the designer coats, and they're half the price. Boden isn't cheap, but definitely much more affordable than some of the designer brands. Again, H&M, excellent for trendy, affordable cold weather layers, oversized scarves, statement knits, long coats, puffers. Everlane, ethically made minimalist. If you like really minimalist style, Everlane could be a great source. They have cashmere crew necks, alpaca sweaters, wool trousers. They have a long puffer. Their Renew long puffer is really stylish and really, really cozy. Kaz, again, another minimalist favorite. Sleek, modern silhouettes. They have lots of really, really great coats at Kaz. Sculptural knits, structured scarves. Banana Republic, I mentioned them briefly, but one of my coats that I mentioned in tomorrow's video is from Banana Republic. Their heritage line has really, really great texture and detail, and is a little bit more elevated than the rest of the store. So I love Banana Republic. They have Zach Posen is the new designer for Banana Republic, Gap, Old Navy. This is why you're seeing all of their stuff get much more elevated this season. It's like 10 out of 10. They're doing a great job at all the different price points at that brand. Okay, outdoor brands, I'm not going to lie and tell you this is my strength, but Columbia and the North Face are both great, reliable, functional brands. So, if you're looking for something a little bit sportier, you're looking for something for an outdoor activity, don't know why you would do an outdoor activity in the winter, but whatever, people do, then those are great brands for that. Now, I'm going to move on to the higher end and more investment pieces. If you're looking at investment outerwear, you cannot go wrong with a brand like Macaj. Macaj is like luxury puffer ski, like gorgeous jackets. It's a Canadian luxury outerwear brand. It's known for its stunning wool and down coats with impeccable tailoring, feminine fits, just absolutely beautiful. It's expensive, you will pay for it, but they are stunning. And definitely, if you're looking for an investment functional outerwear brand, Macaj could be the way to go. Max Mara, the gold standard for gorgeous, elegant winter coats. So they're known for their stunning, like, cashmere coats, their, regular tailored coats, their Ludmilla wrap coat, their Manuela coat, but they're also known for their teddy coats. They're just, their camel coats and tailored outerwear are timeless investments. They're the types of pieces you'll be able to pass on forever and ever. If anything, these go up in value because the price continues to go up, but these are absolutely beautiful coats. Reiss is a British brand that does really, really beautiful tailoring, really great workwear, and they do beautiful coats, tailored coats, wool blazers, knit dresses. I'm also going to mention, and I should have mentioned them in the more affordable, OGL does heat tech really, really well and really, really affordably. If you're looking for a cozy dress, this is one of my current favorite brands. If you're looking for a cozy dress or cozy layering pieces, many of them with actual functional bras built in, you need to check OGL. I'm going to do a whole OGL kind of catalog and breakdown because I'm obsessed with this brand right now. And then finally, that brand I mentioned earlier on, Marfa Stance. Marfa Stance is like where it's at this season. Very trendy. Puffer, high-end puffer jackets that are modular and customizable and waterproof and winterproof. And they've got removable hoods and you can make them shorter and longer and they're reversible and they're expensive, but they're fabulous. So Marfa Stance, definitely a brand to at least look at for inspiration, if not for an actual purchase. Thank you. Love how you make winter tolerable by dressing up. Yes, yes, yes. You know, this is the thing. Whether it's bad weather or just a very casual lifestyle, we can romanticize our lives through style. I do it every single day. I spend many of my days at home talking to you guys, which is a blessing, but also means that I don't necessarily need to dress every day. Like as long as my top is cute, nobody cares what the rest of my outfit looks like, right? Except for me. I care, and I'm romanticizing my daily life through style, whether the days are rainy or whether they're cold or whether they're just laid back and we don't have that much going on. We can dress to improve and enhance our days. So that's my goal of everything I do. Don't forget to check out all my videos this week. Again, tomorrow I'm talking about how to look good in bad weather. Friday, I'm talking about how to layer, and I'm going to try to get a bonus coat video out this week. Thank you so much for, you're so sweet, PJB, for reminding everybody to give my video a thumbs up. It means so much to me. My YouTube channel has grown. Share this video with someone who is slogging through bad weather with you this week. And I hope that you enjoy all my videos this week and that you enjoy Weather Week. Ask me all of your weather questions and I will share some of my favorite solutions. Love you guys so much. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.